Welcome to CultureAlley Spanish. Hola, this is Español, Lesson 23. Let's start by going over some of the phrases that we learned in the last lesson. Let's start by revising some common signs that we may encounter in a Spanish-speaking country. Open translates to abierto. Closed becomes cerrado. Entrance will be entrada. Exit is salida. Push becomes empuje. Can you try that? Empuje. Great. Pull is tirar. Very good. Remember that words like lost, sick, and injured are formed by taking the verb and changing its ending. For example, to lose is perder. The adjective lost becomes perdido for a male speaker. Say that, please. Perdido. And its forms are perdida for females and perdidos and perdidas for plural forms of male and female respectively. Similarly, the adjective sick will be enfermo for a male speaker and enferma for a female speaker. For the plural forms, we just add an S. Great! Now to injure is herir. Can you say that? Herir. The adjective injured gets translated as herido or herida for singular male and female speaker respectively, and heridos or heridas for plural forms. Let us revise a few more phrases. Can I use your phone translates to ¿Puedo usar su teléfono? I need a doctor becomes necesito un médico. Where is the police station will be ¿Dónde está la estación de policía? And I lost my wallet translates as perdí mi billetera. All right, let's move on to today's lesson. Today we will learn some phrases to help us get around in a new place. Today we will learn how to describe where we are going, ask about fare costs, and purchase tickets. All these are important phrases to see around and travel in new places. To get around in a new place, you will often have to explain where you are going, ask how far the place is, and inquire about the fare costs. Let us look at some of these phrases. To explain where you are going or need to go, we will need to learn the forms of the verb to go. The verb to go translates to ir and is an irregular verb. Its conjugation behaves differently from other regular verbs. I go translates to yo voy. Say that, please. Voy. We go becomes nosotros or nosotras vamos. Try that, please. Nosotros o nosotras vamos. You go for informal singular will be tú vas. Can you say that? Vas. Good. You go when used with informal plural becomes vosotros or vosotras vais. You go when used with formal singular translates as usted va. Can you say that? Usted va. And he or she goes translates as él or ella va. You go for formal plural usage becomes ustedes van. And they go will be ellos or ellas van. Very good. A quick point to note is phrases like I am going, we are going, etc. These phrases translate exactly as I go and we go. For example, I go translates to yo voy, and I am going also becomes yo voy. Similarly, we go is vamos, and we are going will be vamos also. You go is vas, and you are going also becomes vas when both are used with singular and informal subjects. Let's start with a basic example like where are you going? A native may ask you this question to help you get around, or you may ask someone the same. We know that where are you going will be asked as where you are going. Let's assume a formal situation since you are asking a stranger. In phrases which relate to where someone or something is going, where literally means to where and is translated as a dónde. Where are you going literally becomes to where are going you. To where are going you translates to ¿A dónde va usted? Can you try that, please? ¿A dónde va usted? Where you go becomes usted va. The usage here is formal and singular since we are asking it to a stranger. Now let's look at the informal version of the same sentence. Where are you going, which literally is to where are going you, translates as ¿A dónde vas? Try that, please. ¿A dónde vas? Note that you go becomes vas when the context is informal singular. We don't need to use the pronoun tú here as it is obvious. So try saying where are you going in Spanish again, assuming an informal context. It is ¿A dónde vas? Great! Now, imagine you were going to a hotel on Nelson Street and need to communicate this to someone. We will say, we're going to the hotel on Nelson Street. Now, we are going is the same as we go. Hence, it translates to vamos. On Nelson Street becomes en la calle Nelson, literally meaning on the street Nelson. In Spanish, names of streets usually follow the word street or calle. Hence, Nelson Street becomes calle Nelson. We're going to the hotel on Nelson Street becomes vamos al hotel en la calle Nelson. Say that, please. Vamos al hotel en la calle Nelson. Where we go is vamos. To the is a plus el, which will contract to al. So, to the hotel becomes al hotel. Let's take another example. I'm going to the beach translates as voy a la playa. Can you try that? Voy a la playa. Where I go becomes voy. Now let's try saying, where does this train or bus go? It literally means to where goes this train or bus. Where in this case means to where and gets translated as a dónde. This becomes este. And to go will be ir, which is an irregular verb. So let's translate where does this train or bus go? Literally meaning to where goes this train or bus. Where does this train or bus go translates to ¿A dónde va este tren? Or ¿A dónde va este autobús? Say that, please. ¿A dónde va este tren? Or ¿A dónde va este autobús? To go is ir, and for third person, goes becomes va. Great! Now that you know how to describe where you are going, let's learn how to ask if it's far or close by. Let's start by asking, is it very far? Far or away will be lejos. Try that one. Lejos. Good. Is it very far will be ¿Está muy lejos? Say that, please. ¿Está muy lejos? Note that lejos means far or away. And notice that we always use estar in such phrases. Great. Now let's look at the replies to this question. One reply can be no, it is quite near. No, it is quite near becomes no, está muy cerca. Can you try that also? No, está muy cerca. Very good. Note that near translates as cerca. All right. Now let's summarize what we learned by trying out a conversation. Mark meets Lisa at the station. Let's look at the conversation between them. Mark: hello. Lisa: hello, good morning. Mark: are you going to Madrid? Lisa: yes, I am going to Madrid. Mark: ah, so am I. I am Mark. Lisa: nice to meet you. I am Lisa. Note that in Spanish, also or to translates to también. Say that, please. También. So am I, or I also, or me too, become yo también. Good. Let us now look at the conversation in Spanish. Mark: hola. Lisa: hola, buenos días. Mark: are you going to Madrid? Becomes ¿va usted a Madrid? Lisa: yes, I'm going to Madrid. Translates as sí, voy a Madrid. Mark: ah, so am I. I am Mark will be ah, yo también. Soy Mark. Lisa: nice to meet you. I am Lisa becomes mucho gusto. Soy Lisa. All right, it's quiz time. Let's see if you remember what we've learned till now. How will you say it is very far in Spanish? Will it be está muy lejos? Or es muy lejos? Or está muy cerca? The correct answer is está muy lejos. How did you do there? How do we say I am going to Spain? Do we say it as voy a España? Or voy España? Or vamos a España? I am going to Spain will be voy a España. Hope you got that correct. All right, now let's learn how to ask fare prices for getting to the place we'd like to go to. How much becomes cuánto? Can you say that? Cuánto. To cost will be costar, and it undergoes a spelling change on conjugation. O in costar changes to UE. How much does it cost literally means how much it costs, translating to cuánto cuesta. Say that, please. Cuánto cuesta. To cost is costar, and costar undergoes a spelling change with O changing to UE. So it costs becomes cuesta? So try saying how much it costs in Spanish again. It becomes ¿cuánto cuesta? One more time. ¿Cuánto cuesta? Great! At a new place, you'd also need to buy tickets. Let's learn to say, how much is a ticket to? Let's look at some vocabulary for this. How much is cuánto? To cost becomes costar. Ticket will be billete. Fare is pasaje. To is a. Let's now look at the word-for-word translation. How much translates to cuánto. Is will be es. A becomes un. Ticket translates as billete. And to will be a. Thus, how much is a ticket to translates to ¿cuánto es un billete a? Can you try that? ¿Cuánto es un billete a? Great! Let's say you are going to Madrid and need a ticket. Let's try saying, how much does a ticket to Madrid cost? Literally, this becomes, how much costs a ticket to Madrid? How much does a ticket to Madrid cost? Literally is, how much costs a ticket to Madrid? It translates as, ¿cuánto cuesta un billete a Madrid? Try that also. ¿Cuánto cuesta un billete a Madrid? Now let's try saying, how much does the fare cost? Which literally becomes, how much costs the fare? How much costs the fare will be, ¿cuánto cuesta el pasaje? Say that, please. ¿Cuánto cuesta el pasaje? Let us see how you would ask for a ticket. One ticket to Madrid, please, translates to un billete a Madrid, por favor. Say that one as well. Un billete a Madrid, por favor. Note that a means to. All right, time for a conversation once again. Mark gets to the train station. Mark, how much is a ticket to Madrid? Amy replies, $20. Mark, one ticket to Madrid, please. Let us look at this conversation in Spanish. Mark, how much is a ticket to Madrid? Translates to, ¿cuánto es un billete a Madrid? Amy, $20, which becomes $20. Mark, one ticket to Madrid, please. Translates as un billete a Madrid, por favor. All right, it's quiz time once again. What will be the translation for a ticket? Will it be un billete, or una billetera, or un billetera? A ticket will be un billete. Did you get that correct? How do we say, how much is a ticket to? Do we say, ¿cuánto es un billete a? Or, ¿cuándo es un billete a? The correct answer is, ¿cuánto es un billete a? Hope you did well there. How will you translate the train? Will you translate it as el pasaje, or el tren, or el autobús? The train becomes el tren. Very good. All right, it's time for the Culture Leaf of the day. Today's Culture Leaf is about cha-cha-cha. Familiar with 2-3 cha-cha-cha? The cha-cha-cha is the name of a dance of Cuban origin. It is danced to the music of the same name, introduced by Cuban composer and violinist Enrique Jorrin in 1953. Cha-cha-cha may be danced either to authentic Cuban music or Latin pop or Latin rock. The music for the Cha-Cha-Cha International Ballroom is energetic and with a steady beat. In general, steps are kept compact and the dance is danced generally without any rise and fall. In the next lesson, we will look at some conversations about asking for directions. We hope you enjoyed your lesson today. See you at the alley for the next one.